It is finally a day with sunshine, and I have the day off, so I will try to get some bits done in the garden today. First, I will check these two beds for weeds. Luckily, there isn't very many, but I will try to keep them down when it's still very manageable. So that will be the first task today. Then I'll see if I might be able to cut down a few of my roses. They need to be managed at this time. So yeah, let's get on. Luckily, most of the plants that I have put down in this bed has worked out, but these peonies isn't really showing any sign on coming up. I left them a bit longer than I wished to do because we had a problem with a drain for rain water, and wanted to just leave them alone, but I were too curious and just wanted to see if maybe something was happening just below the surface, but it's not looking as if there is, so I think that they might not have made it, and then I will see if I need to replace them. Luckily, most of the plants have made it and are coming up very quickly. For example, this geranium album that is looking very nice and have more small buds on the way. Also, this fern has new shoots just curling out here. The roses, there are two types of roses in this bed, is also coming along very nicely. So a lot has worked out. A few things might not have worked out that well. You might wonder why all these buckets are here. They are here because I have chosen to sow the plants from seeds inside, and then I put down these buckets to illustrate for myself where they needed to go, and that way I knew that I wouldn't place any other plants in this spot. And for example, all these tulips were put in the ground, and I needed to be sure that I wouldn't dig up any of the tulips when I got the last plants that I needed. Luckily, I got very few weeds in this bed, but there are a few, and I'll just manage those. So hopefully there will not be a lot of work with those later in the summer. We have had a very warm weekend, but also a lot of rain, so it's still kind of wet out here, but the warmth have really done something good for the plants that are shooting almost so the eye can see it. It's necessary to be very careful where to step when fixing this bed. There are a lot of plants and even more waiting inside to go in the ground, but luckily I only find very few weeds to take out. So soon that will be done. When I started gardening, I put down a lot of wood chips to keep away all of the weeds, and it actually worked out pretty well, but it also made it more difficult to put down new plants and to change the design of the beds, and therefore I have chosen not to do so in this bed or when changing the older beds. I have removed the wood chips. Well, this shouldn't be here, so I'll just clean that up too. There is no doubt that these two beds in the front yard are the thing in the garden that I'm most excited about this spring and this summer, because they are all brand new, and I'm very excited to see if the plans I made will work out as I hope them to do. I should get a few new plants soon, maybe today, tomorrow, to fill out this spot in the front here. They were out of stock when I ordered all the other plants, but now they are in stock, so I can get that part done too. And then I am actually only waiting for the plants inside to be ready to come out and fill all the bare spots. Just picking up a few weeds here. I'm very happy to see this little guy here, because last year I had a lot of problems with aphids. I think they're called in English, on especially my blackcurrant. I hope that this little fellow will find it nice here and stay to manage some of them. First of the normal tulips to come up is these. I believe that they are the type of salmon star. They are the first to really pop here in the garden, to have sprung out. And in here there are some on the way too. I don't remember the name just up front here, but they are some very early tulips that are kind of peony-like. They are on their way. These are also a new addition to the garden. It's daffodils Dutch Master that I planted this fall, and they are also coming up really nicely. Here we have a few tulips who are not feeling very well, and that I think that I need to dig up so they won't infect the others. That might also be a job for today. Not as many tulips this year as one could have hoped for. These are especially bad, I could just see. But there are no way around it, and then hopefully in time I will be able to get new ones in the bed. But I believe that I need to give the bed some time to get rid of that fungus that might have attacked the tulips. It's a bit sad, because it was a huge job to dig down all of these many tulips, and I really, really love my tulip ocean here in the spring. But yeah, that's the way it is. Something works out, some doesn't. And the rain and the weather you cannot compete with. Then you just need to be happy about the things that actually work, like these helleborus that have been very, very pretty this year. The crocuses that are still in bloom because they were put down a bit late this year. The geranium on its way, and this sage that are also looking good and coming back this year. So luckily a lot is also working out. I'm trying to take out these buds here to make sure that it doesn't come back again. Actually, I might have hurt one of my hostas, but yeah, then I must put another one of those in the ground later on. I need these to come up now, so that's the way it is. But that is actually also one of the reasons that I love having these small planting signs. It's because it makes it possible for me to know if there are other plants that I need to be aware of that might not have emerged from the ground yet. This is a really big one, but still the leaves are looking very, very poor, so needs to come up. There are no doubt that this needs to get done. A lot of the tulips are in very bad shape and they will infect the others if I do not pull them up. I'm not sure that I'm even taking enough, but I also don't want to ruin some that might still have a shot of working out. But it's really hurting my heart to pull up all of these beautiful tulips, because in the fall of 2022 I did a huge remake of this bed. It was my first really big design plan and change of a bed, and I made a lot of effort in choosing the right plants, the right tulips that I really wanted, and spending also the funds that were needed to get the impression that I wished for. And now I only had one spring where the tulips were really there and were pretty and working out, and I could enjoy them. And of course that's good, but I really hope them to become something that would return every year. But it doesn't look like it's possible that this is right now, because when they are infected with some sort of fungi, you need to wait a few years to put them back in, to put new ones in the ground, or else those will just get infected too. So it won't be in this bed this year. Some will come up, some I will leave in, but most is in really bad shape. I hope that the tulips in the front yard will make up for it this year, because I really need them to. But there's no way around it. I'm just having to keep moving on, and then I'll just take the time to also do a little bit of weeding now that I am stepping into this bed anyway. I think that can actually be a bit difficult when choosing to make a bed there that are this deep and this big, is the weeding, because when I move in the bed with my big boots, there are a big risk that I will step on small plants and seedlings on their way up from the ground. So I really need to watch my step, and that makes it kind of difficult. And often I am in weird positions to try to take out the weed. I won't get everything, and I hope that I've planned it close enough so that in summer it won't be quite as big as a problem as it is right now, where the plants are still very small. But yeah, that is a challenge, but I do my best, and often it comes out nice anyway, even with a little bit of weed in between the plants. So I'll just try to move on, looking at which tulips needs to be dug up, and then take a little bit of weed on my way. even though this one actually has a bud on it, it's already falling apart down here, so I'll take that one up as well, and a few of these that are also looking very unhealthy. And I think that is it for this for today, and then I'll look at it another day again and see if I need to pull out any more of the tulips. And just like that, a whole bucket of weeds, and sadly also a lot of tulips. And I will bring the bucket to the compost that is now neatly fitted inside this fence, and then I'll go on with other jobs. And when speaking of the compost, I actually just discovered that I have a job to do here. Also, I cut down a big bush a few weeks ago, and completely forgot about these branches that I also need to pull into the garden. This is the outer space of our garden. Still here, even in spite of the tough ride, ready to take on some of the pests in the garden, and a lot of ants apparently also. Very confused about being moved away, probably. Look at this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful weather. I really needed to see the sun, needed to feel that spring was actually on its way with all that dreadful rain all the time. It's as if everything is just a bit more pretty with the sun out. And with this footage of last year's tulip ocean in May, I thank you once again for watching.